In this video, we're going to be talking about the concept of black markets. So black markets arise in the presence of a price ceiling, and we're going to see how that works in a second. So if you haven't watched my previous videos on price ceilings and price floors, so the videos on entitled price controls, I suggest that you watch those first just to get an idea of how price ceilings actually work. So in this video, we're going to be assuming that you already know how they work. Okay, so let's go into the concept of a black market. So first of all, let's define what a black market is, and then we'll see how it arises in our model. So a black market is a situation in which products are sold at prices that violate a legal price control. So if the government comes in and tries to control the price, and there arises a market in which the product is being sold at a price, presumably that would be higher than that price, then that constitutes a black market, okay, and it's illegal. So let's see how that could arise in a situation in which the government imposes a price ceiling. So as usual, upward sloping supply curve, downward sloping demand curve. Okay, now let's say the government comes in and imposes a price ceiling here. So price ceiling, and of course you'll remember from the previous video that quantity supplied will be less than quantity demanded at PC. Okay, and the quantity exchanged will end up being QS. Okay, and of course that results in a deadweight loss here. Okay, now let's think about if we had a clever person that observed this price ceiling, what they might do to sort of take advantage of this situation for their own profit. Well, they might think, okay, so this is my quantity supplied, and I know that at that quantity, there are consumers who are willing to pay a much higher price than this price PC. In particular, they're willing to pay this price here. And this will end up being the black market price, because of course, if some person or some group of people or group of firms decide to buy up this quantity supplied at this price here, and then resell it to consumers at this price here, because of course those consumers are willing to pay that price, then they could actually make a profit that is the area of that rectangle. So this will be our profit. Okay, profit is often denoted by the Greek letter pi. Why is that profit? Well, let's think about it. What would be the total revenue, the total amount of money made by these clever sellers? Well, they would be selling QS units, right? They would be buying QS units. They would be selling QS units at a price of PB. So if you multiply QS by PB, you get the amount of money that they're making, right? And of course, that's represented by this rectangle here, right? QS times PB will give us the area of that rectangle. But of course, they actually have to buy the product first, so their profit is represented by the money they made, which is this, minus QS, which is the number of units they bought, times PC, which is the price at which they bought it. So that would eliminate this bottom part here, leaving us with that pink part. So that would be the profit that they would make. So this is how a black market works. You have some clever consumers who come in and they decide to buy up the supply here. and sell it at some high price over here, yielding this profit over here. And of course, that arises because there is a price ceiling, right? If this were in equilibrium, this wouldn't be happening because, well, you wouldn't have the opportunity to actually buy something at a certain price and sell it for a higher price because the price at which the good is selling is exactly equal to the price at which consumers want it. Of course, that's the equilibrium price, right? So when the price is held lower than the equilibrium price, there is a risk that a black market arises. And of course, we see we actually do see this in the real world. Okay, so that's a prediction that this model makes, which turns out to be accurate in many, many situations. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it useful, please like and subscribe and share it, and leave a comment down below if you have suggestions for further videos. I will see you next time.